Well, just about time to get going, and I have a shower in my future today. Woohoo! On to Kissimmee Prairie. It's always easy to tell when I'm out here alone. The spiders do a number on the trail every morning, so I end up having to swing my stick like a wild man or just get covered. Well, good thing I didn't wear my quasi-dry socks, huh? I do love these oak hammocks. As promised, a whole lot of not much. Damn it, I did it too. So this is Duck Slough, and I knew that I was supposed to go around because it gets about waist deep, but I wasn't paying attention and I saw it got a little wet, figured, this probably isn't it yet. Got up to about partway up my calf, happened to check gut hooks, and sure enough, this is where I should have turned. Back here. It's very much not apparent. So it looks like this is the reward for walking around an actual walkway instead of having to wade waist deep with an alligator eyeing you, which does sound memorable. Ah, well. So I'm at Cowboy Crossing, having successfully made it around Duck Slough without getting waist deep wet. And while I only have about 5 more miles to the campground, I decided I could use a chance to dry off my feet and might as well try this pump and get some water. So the water out of that pitcher pump came out clear and it doesn't smell strongly of sulfur or anything. So I think I'm just going to run it through my normal Sawyer instead of, spending all that time working the S1. So one of the things I've been kind of bad about keeping up with on this trip has been doing boots off breaks, which probably didn't help my issues around Lake Okeechobee. So I'm trying to be a little better now. This part seems to be popular with people on bikes. She's the 6th person I've seen out here so far. So that lady on a bike, I was talking to her a while back, and she asked if I needed anything, and I said, well, I could use a hamburger, soda, some new feet, just joking around. She just came back from presumably the campground with soda, Gatorade, a sandwich, and a bunch of fruit for me. I love people. And then the next people that came by just offered to let me stay in their campsite, which it turns out I have one, but hey, at least I'll have some friends next door. Stuff like this really just raises my spirits incredibly out here. So the good news is I do have a site at Kissimmee Prairie State Park tonight. The bad news is Jen, my awesome girlfriend back home who's making reservations and things for me, apparently Googled Kissimmee State Park and she got me a site at Lake Kissimmee State Park, which is about 28 miles away per Google. Oh well, I'm gonna have to call them and let them know that they can at least give that site away. Ah, home sweet home for the night, complete with turkeys. Hey, buddies. So it's laundry day, but there's no laundry detergent. So, taking the lady at the front desk suggestion and just using shampoo. We'll see how this goes. So I had a really nice night here. The storm didn't materialize, or if it did, I was asleep and didn't notice. I'm just currently waiting on my battery back there to top off, and then it's time to get moving. Unfortunately, every water source I can find out here is tasting super sulfury this morning. So yeah, my hiking water is going to be a bit rotten egg today. Yay, Florida. Breezy morning. A little chilly too. But hey, it's not like I'm going to have to wade through knee-deep swamps for a couple miles. No way. Well, it was nice having dry shoes and clean clothes while it lasted. All 10 minutes. Dark sky popped up with a fire watch today due to these strong northern winds. And sure enough, there's fire over there. Huh. Still getting close to that fire. So this is the north boundary campsite. I'm not going to stay here obviously, but kind of want to swap out the water I had at the campground. Hopefully this tastes a little better. So I seem to be timing this just right. That guy said they just mowed a really nasty section up ahead. Plus, there's apparently trail magic. Double bonus. Looks like we got more trail workers. It's fun chatting with the trail crew, especially since it's been a little while since I ran into many people. So that trail crew had a cooler of goodies, and so I got cold drinks, fruit. They even gave me some like fruit snacks and a Cliff Bar, which I really appreciate. So those guys just stopped and said they had a question. When's the last time I'd had a carbonated soda? Which unfortunately was about 2 minutes ago. Yesterday I would have killed for one. Still, really nice offer. So this crossing up here used to require that you actually contacted somebody and then got approval to go across. Supposedly that's no longer the case, so I should just be able to go right across. That is kind of hypnotizing. So this sign's a little out of date, but that's what you used to have to do. Darn, missed them. See, I keep telling you guys, they're shy. They take off the moment they see me. That guy over there obviously hasn't seen me yet. So much wild pig damage out here. So this campground's a little busier than what I'm used to. Oh well. Wasn't gonna stay here anyway. Hey, just met somebody else along the trail.
Hey, how you doing, Mathicus?
So I had to force myself to leave there. I was having way too much fun talking to Pat. And, you know, if I happened to hang around longer, there might have been a hot dinner involved. But no, I have to make my miles. And that would be pig pieces. So Pat was a RV snowbird just traveling around for a couple of months. Neat guy. I lost about an hour and a half, 2 hours, I think, there. Which I may have to take the nearer campsite now, but it was really nice talking with him. Also, if you're following along at home, that would be 3 separate instances of trail magic today. Assuming you count that FTA crew that all kept trying to give me things, that's just one. This is Rattlesnake Hammock, one of my 2 camp options for tonight. But you know, I'm just having too good of a day. I think I'm going to continue on. Also, there's at least one person back there. And there's one of those wild pigs. And there goes one of those wild pigs. Home sweet home for the night. Made it all the way to Long Hammock, did about 20 miles. Got 3 different instances of trail magic. Got to talk to people. And my feet are doing way better. It's been a good day. Oh, and I passed 400 miles. I think today was one of the best days I've had on trail so far. which is kind of scary because usually, you know, the trail gives you something good and then the counterstroke happens. It was a chilly night last night. I'm really glad I'm picking up that extra jacket today. Sun's up, but it's still breezy and chilly out here. So last night, I was doing a conference call. When I'm back in Southern California, I help with a wilderness class called Sierra Club Wilderness Travel Course. And we're on hiatus due to the whole COVID situation, which is why I'm out here hiking this time of year instead of running the class. But we still have management things to do. Now, as I'm on the conference call, just hoping my phone isn't going to drop out, I literally had wild pigs like running around my tent. So that was fun. Other than that, nice night, if chilly. I really love that Western Mountaineering bag. It's a 30-degree bag, which is lighter than what I usually roll with because I like being able to, you know, not freeze when there's storms. But they're just so well made and so light for the weight. I do have an extra jacket I'm picking up in about 2 miles here, so that'll be nice. I have this fleece, but that's a little limited. So I have an actual like camp insulation layer that I'm probably gonna end up sleeping with for a number of nights because per the forecast, it's gonna be getting down into the 30s in the next week or so. Today is my resupply at West River Run, which I was looking forward to. Now I'm worried a little just because I'd been hoping for some hot food. It looks like their restaurant only opens at 3 o'clock on weekdays, so that's a bummer, but there might be coffee. Also, it may be a little sparse for buying a resupply. Now, I've got another 100 miles or so to Christmas from here, so I got to carry, you know, 5 days of food, a little extra for buffer. And we'll see, you know, if I'm having to go off of a gas station convenience store style set of supplies. I've already been hungry this last stretch with having to go a little slower. We'll see. And then after the resupply, of course, after having such a good day yesterday, I have what's supposed to be a pretty nasty road walk. But I should be through that and then back into the next wilderness management area by the time I camp, hopefully. I've spooked pigs with babies a couple of times through here. Haven't been able to get a video of them so far, though. Kind of cool, though. I love being in these more forested areas. Hey, guys. So here's West River Run. Hopefully they got my packages and hopefully they have coffee because I could really use coffee at the moment. This place is kind of a trip. Now I want to go to the saloon, but I probably shouldn't at 9-something in the morning. So the good news is they had coffee. The bad news is resupply is going to be rough. Okay, so it is resupply day. So I've got a couple of pieces of equipment here and I'm going to be trying to buy food over at that store, which is going to be an interesting experience. So I had a little bit of a scare because it turns out when you send a package to West River Ranch, there are 3 places it can go. It can go to that lodge, or the post office. The lodges are both open. The post office doesn't open until 2 in the afternoon. Went to the first lodge, no luck. Went to the less likely lodge, and they had them, so. So what did I get and what am I getting rid of? First off, I have a new pair of Ultra Olympuses. My old pair have done about 500 miles now, and I'm not going to push it. Once the foam collapses, it's not a good situation. So brand new pair. Because of the foot issues I was having about, a week ago, I had Jen mail me some Super Feet. So I'm going to try these, see if they help with the foot issues that I'm not having right at the moment, but we'll see. I also replaced one of my stuff sacks. This is the Z-Packs DCF stuff sack. They're waterproof, super light, and I really like them. So I got rid of one of my steel nylon stuff sacks, and I'm gonna replace it with this. I was able to give my old one to Nanook over there, so it's not going to waste. And then I have luxury, which is 2 new pairs of socks. One of the pairs is my standard, darn tough light. And then I'm gonna try these just to see how I like them. They're the wool Injuns. Some people like them because you don't get blisters with the individual toes here. figure it's worth a shot while I actually have the option of swapping things out. And then, sadly, it's time to say goodbye to an old pair of friends. These Crocs have been with me quite a while. They have very little tread left on them. This keeps popping off, and quite frankly, they're $30 items. They're not worth mailing back. I haven't used them in the last 200 miles. I'm just going through everything in these, so these guys are going in the trash. Don't worry, though. I intend to buy a new pair sometime. I really feel like I should have had some sort of ceremony for these. Oh, goodbye, old friends. So this is Nanook. I just met him here at, where are we? West River Ranch.
West River Ranch, Florida, where it's beautiful all the time, except it got down to 42 last night. But wasn't as bad as when I started this trip back January of last year. And did Katahdin in January and froze my ass off. But been having a good time on the trip. It's been fun. It's into about a little over 4,000 miles right now. And heading for Pensacola to end the trip. So having a good time, and hope to see a lot of you guys out there.
When are you aiming to finish?
Probably in March, late March, maybe early April. I'm kind of a rare thing. I don't have any schedule. I can take as long as I want, which I really appreciate. Like days like that, I'm taking a 0 today. And have a couple beers, have some pizza, and have a good time.
I'm jealous. I have till October sometime, but I still feel like I have a schedule.
Well, that's it. When that's over your head, it just, I don't know, kind of taints it a little bit. But when you get to be my age and you're retired, time doesn't really matter. So as long as you got enough money to keep going, and hopefully Social Security won't quit, I'll be all set.
Or as long as you have a employed girlfriend that's covering the gaps in between.
Oh, man, I'd love that. But no, I don't have one of those. But yeah, it's been good to meet you, and I hope I meet a lot more of you guys out there. But stop and say hello if you see me on the trail. Name's Nanook.
And you're headed northbound from
northbound,
here, right?
Northbound, and
like all the cool people.
Got about what do we got? About 1,000 miles left, maybe something like that.
Which doesn't sound that bad. Actually, no, we're less because this is 200 in.
900 or 850 by now. And people I know are probably cringing and saying, "Well, that's a lot of miles." Well, now when you've done the AT and the Pinhoti and all the rest of this stuff,
I think it just depends how many of our miles are actually road miles.
Yeah, there are a lot of road miles here. Yeah, there are a lot of road miles, more than any time on the AT or the Pinhoti or even up in Canada. I didn't do that many road miles, but that's the thing down here. Every trail, people say, "Well, you're hiking Florida Trail. It's nice and flat. It must be easy." No, it's flat, like you said, but the tread here sometimes can be horrible. Like down to Cypress, Big Cypress, it was, you're walking through water up to your knees for 35 miles. So
yeah, it was all the dikes that got me, because you're either on pavement or you're on hard pack,
and
it just destroys your feet. I've had more blisters in the last month than I had in the entire PCT.
Me too. I'm glad to hear that, because I had no blisters in 4,000 miles. And now I've got all sorts. My feet look like.
Oh, I feel so much better now. I'm starting to think I'm just not a good hiker here.
No, it's different. I see the people who don't have blisters. They swap out into a shoe that will basically shed all the water and sand, and then they'll put their hiking shoes back on. And I should have done that. If we get back into a big water area, which I don't know how much we're going to get into.
There's one up north, I hear.
Yeah, I'll do that, because one, it ruined my shoes, but two, it ruined my feet too. So
I'm actually doing the opposite. I came through Big Cypress in Crocs with socks.
Yeah.
And that worked pretty well, other than I had to kick rocks out of them on occasion.
Okay.
But I haven't used those Crocs since Big Cypress, so I think I'm getting rid of them and just slogging through.
Yep.
And now the part I've been dreading, 5 days of resupply in a limited market. Success! Though I just spent $140. So resupplying has become kind of a challenge, because it seems like my hiker hunger's been kicking back in. Basically the last 3 days I was running short on food, because I wanted to make sure I had enough to make it to River Ranch where I am, and I felt like I was going to run short. So, and I'm also dealing with a place that doesn't have kind of the best, so I had to deal with what I had. I've got 5 Pop-Tarts, I've got 2 little peanut butters, some bars, some pretzels, animal crackers, 4 things of Fig Newtons, Welch's, which are not very good, but calories are calories, some trail mix, 3 sandwiches, And dinner is going to be non-melted cheese, cookies, and some tortillas that the ladies were nice enough to give me, and I have some chicken tanks. So I think with the couple of dregs I have left over, this will be enough to get me the 100-some miles to Christmas. Hard to tell. In about a day or two, I'll probably be kicking myself either way, either hungry or, you know, way too much extra food. Oh well. What have I done to my beautiful pack? It was like down to here today. The day before resupply is always so nice. I even got rid of my Crocs. Week of food. I stopped at a number of resorts along the PCT. I have to say this one very much feels not exactly like I fit in as a hiker. So this is what you get for $30 camping here. And you can't even do laundry. They apparently took the laundry facilities out on Wednesday. So I'm an idiot and came through the camping area to say hi to Nanook before I went and make sure I had his trail name ready. And turns out you can't actually make it through here, so now I have to backtrack. On the plus side, I'm getting to see what all they have. This place is interesting. So when you're through hiking, we talk about the vortex, which means you go into a town and the vortex just holds you there versus hiking on. Right now it's, you know, after 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It makes a lot of sense if I would just pay the 30 bucks, camp here, start the road walk in the morning. I could hang out with Nanook over there more, have a grand old time. But no, I am resisting the vortex. So check in about 2 or 3 hours and I may be regretting my choice, but oh well, that's just how I roll. I also have new shoes, which often the first day in new shoes are kind of problematic for me. Inserts that I've never tried before, since I'm shoved those orange super feet in there to see if that would help with a couple of issues I was having, and a pack that's heavier than I've carried so far on this trail, carried heavier on the PCT. All this adds up to likely a rough day or two, but you know, the advantage of 2 cups of coffee and a couple of beers and pizza, I don't care. I am fully embracing the suck at the moment. So now comes the gamble. I have an 8-mile road walk along the 60. From everything I hear, that is unpleasant, high traffic, and I generally don't like being out on roads like that after dark. It just doesn't feel safe. There is $30 if I wanted to stay at West River Ranch. Didn't really want to do that. Honestly, I'm feeling so happy after getting to chat with people. I just want to hike. Or I try and stealth before I get to the 60, if there are doable spots. Because in a lot of cases, you know, you look over that fence, there's some decent spots. However, I'm not gonna jump over a no trespassing sign. Also, I only want to use sites that are, you know, durable, where I'm not gonna cause any damage. So we'll see. I may have to backtrack if things don't go well here. But that's what makes life exciting, right? You know what? I think I will risk it here for the night. Then tomorrow I can shoot past the road and get on to better stuff. Not a bad spot, though I already had one wild pig wander in. Hey. Bye. And there is a little bit of traffic noise, but who cares? It's beautiful out here.